Hello everyone, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. As you know, it's the start of winter season in Australia and everything seems very cold except the Department of Home Affairs and the government. So I'm Prabjit Kaur from Viside. As you know, I always try to bring new videos regarding the new migration matters and new visa categories. Today we will be discussing partner visas in particular. As I've already said, the Department of Home Affairs always keep the things heated up. So this year, the next financial year budget will be released very soon, which is on Tuesday most probably. So every year there is a particular figure that is given to the partner visas or the family visas. So partner visas are approximately sitting at 48,000 figure, which is consistent from last nearly 4 to 5 years, and this has been increasing. It's one of the reason for this is because Australia is a multicultural society. So the people who are here, who get their permanent residencies, sometimes they want to bring their partners from offshore. So obviously this figure is increasing as the time passes. So today I will be discussing about partner visas in particular, and I will be telling you about different partner visa categories. So the first thing I will be starting with is the definition of partner. So the partner can be a de facto partner or a spouse. So if you marry a person, so according to Department of Home Affairs, from visa perspective, if you marry someone, they are your spouse. But if you haven't married someone, which is very common in Western society, that you don't marry a person, but you are into a relationship and you're living together, so they are called de facto partners. So de facto partners are the partners with which you are having a genuine and continuing relationship. You're living together. If you're living separately, that's not on a permanent basis, but you have a mutual commitment to a shared life to the exclusion of all others. So what does that mean is that you are into a genuine and continuing relationship, and that relationship you are exclusively sharing with that particular person. So this is the definition of partner from the Department of Home Affairs perspective. So in this kind, the partner visas, there are two types of people. One is the visa applicant and one is the sponsor. So visa applicant is the person who is applying for a visa on the basis of a sponsor who is their partner, who is having a certain kind of migration status in Australia. So I will give you an overview of the whole video, what we will be discussing in particular in this video. Firstly, we will be discussing about PR or citizen of Australia who want to bring their partner from either offshore or onshore. Secondly, we will be discussing about particular visa holders who are not permanent residents yet, but they are holding certain kind of temporary resident visas, which is subclass 489, previously 457 visas, new TSS visas. So these people are the temporary visa holders. So if they want to bring their partner, the third category is the 485 visa holders, the graduate work stream or the post-study work stream visa holders who want to bring their partner. Student visa holders, if someone wants to, who is the holder of a student visa and they want their partner to join them. So we will be discussing about them. Last but not the least, the important thing, if the partner is onshore, what are their options, and if the partner is offshore, what are their options. So if the partner is onshore, let's say, how they can apply for these kind of partner visas. So firstly, the most important is the PR or a citizen of Australia. If they want to bring their partner from offshore, or if they want to marry someone onshore, but they are not permanent citizens or residents of Australia, so how they can sponsor a person. So there are different things that we should be we should be careful about while applying for these visas. The first thing is that if you want to sponsor someone on partner visa, you must have met that person. So it cannot be just an online relationship, which is very common these days, that a person, let's say, has met someone online and they were online dating or something, and now they want to sponsor that person and they want to bring them here on a permanent partner visa. So the first thing, they should keep that in mind, that they must have met that person physically. They must have spent some quality time together, and they should have proofs for that. As you know that you can sponsor someone limited number of times. It's not that you sponsored someone and things didn't work out, and then you will bring another partner and this thing will keep going on. So you should keep that in mind as a PR or citizen of Australia, that you can sponsor someone limited number of times, which is like only 2 times you can sponsor them. If it is beyond 2 times, you will have to have like certain circumstances to do that. Another thing that is very important is, if you have a partner who is offshore, let's say they were married previously and they have kids, so they can also bring their kids, but they will have to meet the definition of dependent children. The sponsor, there is an important thing now, that the sponsor will have to meet the character test. This is especially from the domestic violence perspective. The department has introduced this new thing. And the major thing is the fees of the partner visa, which is like $7,000, which is a huge amount, and everyone has huge concerns about the partner visa fees in Australia, that it's very high. So if you are sponsoring someone and applying for their visa, you should keep that thing in mind, that $7,000 is a huge amount. And if you have done something wrong in the application and that application is refused, so you will end up losing that $7,000. So it's better, like, if you are very sure about the application, that's perfectly fine. But if you have a little bit of doubt or you have questions about your application, you should consider taking help from the registered migration agents, or taking some advice regarding your case. So now another thing which is very important about the permanent partner visa is that it can be applied onshore or offshore. We will be discussing that later on in the video, at the end of the video. Another thing that I want to tell about the partner visas, permanent partner visas, is the prospective marriage visa. So this is a visa which gives you a chance. Let's say you have met your partner only few times and you're very busy in Australia and you haven't spent much time with them, and you want to be sure before starting your relationship with them. So you can apply for this prospective marriage visa before actually getting married to that person. You can apply for this visa. The person can come and join you in Australia, and you can spend some quality time with the person, so that you are sure before sponsoring them that yes, this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. And another benefit that you will get is you can apply for the permanent partner visa onshore. Another thing in partner visas is there is a waiting time before your partner can actually become a permanent resident. So it is a 2-year waiting time. So there are 2 stages to this visa. So the first stage, you apply for the visa, they get the visa, which is a 2-year visa, and the second stage is the permanent visa. So after 2 years, you have to give the evidence to the department that your relationship is still ongoing and it's genuine and it will be continuing, and you provide the evidence again, and then your partner after 2 years get the permanent visa. So you should keep that in mind, that your partner don't get the permanent residency straight away. So they get into 2 stages. Another partner visa that I want to discuss is, if someone is a temporary residence or work visa holder, let's say 457 visa holder or 489 visa holder or 482, the new TSS visa, or any other temporary visa holder, They can also apply for their partners to, with their application while they are applying for the application, or once they have got the visa and they, let's say they married later on, or they have a partner later on, they can apply for a subsequent entrant, especially in subclass 489, 457 and in 482 as well. So the processing times for these visas is approximately the same as the current processing time for their original main applicant visa, which can vary from anywhere between 3 to 6 months. And the fees is also attached to the actual visa category. So whatever the fees for the actual visa category is, the main applicant fees is actually for the subsequent entrant visa applicant. Another major visa that people are applying, the partner visa, is while they are holding 485 visa. So which is a major trend after applying for after being here on student visa. Certain students are eligible for subclass 485 visa, which can be a graduate entry or a post-study work stream. So if you have married someone after getting your 485 visa, you can bring your partner from offshore, or you can marry someone onshore, and they can be on your subclass 485 visa. But I will be discussing that how the onshore offshore thing work. So the major thing that you look in, you should keep in mind while applying for 485 subsequent entrant is, like, I will give you an example. Let's say if someone is applying from India, so obviously they need a police check to get the visa. So you can apply for your police check before the marriage, because after the marriage, the department that gives the PCC, they ask for your partner to add the partner's name into the passport before actually getting the police clearance. So which can be a lengthy process, and it delays your file, and it delays that your partner can come and join you in Australia. So again, the fees is around $1,500 for this visa. And another main thing that you should look into while applying for this visa is the health insurance, which is like must. You should arrange a health insurance for your partner before applying for this visa. Another important, which is like the major industry here in Australia, is the student visa. So your partner can apply for as a dependent. If someone, let's say if someone is applying for a student visa, they can apply as a partner at the same time. Or let's say if you have got married after you got the student visa, you went back to your home, or if you have married someone here in Australia, you can apply for a subsequent entrant student visa for your partner. There are few things that you should keep in mind. Let's say if you came here on student visa and then you went back home, you got married, and now you want to apply for your partner visa, you should keep these few things in mind, that you should wait for some time before applying for the partner visa, because obviously sometimes there can be integrity issues. Let's say you came in Australia and your partner was already onshore, and you came here and you straight away got married, and now you're applying for the partner visa. These kind of cases can have integrity issues, because obviously the department can think this is kind of set up, and this can delay the processing of your visa. In student visa, the main thing is the funds. So the financials, especially from India or other level 3 countries or level 2 countries. So you should try to give everything to the department beforehand. So you should provide the financials to the department while you're lodging while you're lodging your file. Sometimes the cases are simply refused because the funds were not enough. So the migration agent, or sometimes the agents who are offshore, they don't even have the proper knowledge about the legislation and the laws behind the visas, and they apply the files without enough funds. So in these cases, the case can be refused the cases can be simply refused by the department. So you should make sure that you have front loaded your application with the funds, like financials, proper financials, did the proper calculations. So you should provide enough proof regarding your relationship. so that your relationship is genuine. You should provide different kinds of documentation to prove the genuinity of your relationship. You should have done your medicals before lodging your file. And another thing is, as I said, some of the agents who are offshore, we have seen so many cases where a person has used an offshore agent and they have lodged the file and people have got PIC 402. So I have discussed PIC 402 in my other videos, which is like a major thing, which is a bar of 3 years. PIC 402 means you have provided wrong information with your application. So then you get a 3-year bar. So in this kind of application, let's say if you have a refusal previously and your agent haven't mentioned that refusal into the application, so this is like a straight refusal of your visa and a bar on providing further temporary like applying for further temporary applications to Australia. So this is not even temporary, sorry, I will say further visa applications to Australia. So which is a huge thing. So we have seen cases where a partner is here and their spouse is waiting offshore because obviously they are PIC 402 bar. They have a 3-year bar because of some mistake from the agent. So please make sure that you have got an agent who actually knows the process and they know what they're doing and they're providing the right advice to you. Actually, they are looking at your documents and saying, let's say if I have someone who is coming to me to apply for a subsequent student entrant visa, I will look into their whole case. I will look into the case as a whole. Do they have any other options? Can we do any future planning for them? Do they have a study or do they have a work experience on the basis of which we can apply for any permanent visa applications later on? So these agents who are offshore, sometimes they don't even have knowledge about those kind of visas, and they don't do any future planning and they don't provide the proper documentation to the department, and then you are caught later on because obviously if let's say you have got the visa, everything went well with your visa, but they have provided some wrong information or incomplete information in the application, so you can be in trouble later on. So please make sure that your application is done properly. In the end, I would like to explain about the visa applicant who are onshore and who are offshore. If your partner is offshore and you want to sponsor them, you can simply apply for their application. But if your partner is onshore and you want to apply for the visa application and you want to sponsor them for a partner visa, so you will have to keep certain things in mind. The first thing is the person who is applying for the visa, and if they are onshore, they must have a substantive visa. Substantive visa is a visa other than bridging visa, and they do not have any 8503 condition attached to their visa, because if you have 8503 condition, you need to get a waiver on the basis of compelling and compassionate circumstances. The third thing is, if your partner is onshore and they do not have any visa at all, that means their visa is expired and they're illegal at the moment. They can still stay onshore, they can still apply for a visa if this sponsor is a PR, permanent resident or citizen of Australia. If someone is holding, if the sponsor is holding is not holding a permanent resident visa or not a citizen, but they are holding a temporary visa, they cannot apply for, they cannot sponsor someone onshore. They cannot sponsor someone who is onshore and they do not have any visa. So obviously that person will have to go offshore to apply for the while if the sponsor is not, if the sponsor is on a temporary visa. So in the end, I would say I have given you an overview of the partner visas. So you should make sure, if you're lodging an offshore file with an agent, you should make sure that all these things are addressed before your file is lodged. That's all for today. I will come back with another video after the release of the budget that I already explained you in the starting. Bye for now. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.